my God, I look like crap. Really, I'm much better in the other room because the light's so dim. The light is so dim and you can't really see the bags and the wrinkles. When you're a spiritual being, everything is spiritual. You can make everything spiritual. And when you're a witch, you can make everything witchy. There is no reason for us to feel like we aren't connected. Go outside, ground yourself, earth yourself on the beautiful, well, it's snowing today, so we won't be doing that. But yeah, do something to ground yourself. And food, cooking, or eating, who knows, maybe I need a bib. Oh, I'm telling you guys, life is life. You gotta love life. Hi. Do you ever feel overwhelmed or stressed, really stressed, or disconnected from like your spiritual practice and your witchcraft practice? Me too. But what if the secret to a quiet and calmer and more spiritually connected life is in the daily routines and the small rituals that we can add to our day to get that connection back and help us feel more grounded. So in this video, I'm going to share 10 of the ways I've been helping myself get centered again and grounded to make me feel calmer. And for some reason, I have felt like I'm too busy to do these things, but with a little mindfulness, you can get that connection back. And it's small, easily attainable ways. And they are simple, and they can change your entire day. When I decided to take on this temporary extra work schedule, I didn't think about how working would affect my spiritual and witchcraft practices, or my self-care, my diet, my sleep, and all the activities of daily living, like cooking and cleaning, and well, that to-do list that goes on and on. For some reason, showing people my lunches has become very important to me because, that's my joy right now. Food. Everything felt rushed. I felt exhausted. When I had my one day off a week, I felt pulled in every direction. Life was spinning out of control, and I needed an end to the cycle I was in. I needed to find ways to bring back calm and peacefulness. This is my life now. I needed to bring the magic back into everything I did. Of that. My spirituality is normally at the heart of everything I am, everything I do. So that's where I started. So the first thing I did was easy. Remember that I am a spiritual being. Whether I'm at home, at my altar, or at work, doing laundry or cleaning, I am a spiritual being. And I can, being mindful of that helps you feel a little more connected. Waking up with gratitude. Yeah, sounds cheesy, right? But waking up with gratitude instead of dread can change my entire day. Before my feet hit the floor, I think of just one thing I'm grateful for. Just one. And I don't need to write it down. I don't need to journal about it. I just need to be mindful of one thing I am grateful for before I get out of bed. Normally, my husband has coffee ready for me when I get up. He perks it every couple of days. We're trying to cut down on coffee, so we don't perk a pot of coffee every day. And it's a 45-minute process. So he does that for me. And then I can just put it in the microwave and heat it up. And, that's quick and easy, right? But I found that just the ritual of making my own coffee in the morning can change things. The ritual of the slow process of heating up my water and putting in my grounds, pouring your water into it and letting it steep for a bit. It's the slow and mindful process of infusing my coffee with conscious appreciation. Where I had been running up with my coffee, I would automatically go put on my makeup for the day. But why is it that we change who we are the minute we get up with a face full of makeup? So instead of doing that, I've been choosing to actually sit and enjoy my cup of coffee. That's just part of the ritual. I just sit and enjoy a few moments of being, smelling the aroma, savoring the flavor, waking up slowly. I know it sounds woo-woo, but saying an affirmation, I find a good affirmation to say in the morning, and when I'm feeling the need to remind myself of that, I think about that affirmation. I might even write it down and bring it with me to work. I work alone for the most part, and it makes a lot of space for getting in my own head. Just doing your job, but stuck in your head. So having that affirmation can help me with that. Do you ever notice when you're really stressed or really upset how shallow and fast your breath gets? And that can make you feel worse. So if you just stop for a minute and breathe deeply, I find being mindful of my breath and taking 3 deep breaths, so you actually feel it as it goes through your lungs and into your belly, it can be a game changer. There's times when I think breath work has literally saved my life. Just breathe in gratitude and breathe out the bullshit. Adding some magic into meals I'm preparing, whether I'm making a meal for lunch or breakfast to bring to work or dinner for me and my husband, just adding love into it and gratitude and, using things that correspond to, like tonight I'm using tomato. That corresponds with passion and love and abundance. So putting those intentions into my meal. I'm a witch, as most of you know. So cooking is spellcraft. I put love and gratitude, and I know what the healing and magical properties are. I always try to remember to enchant it with a little prayer of gratitude before I eat it. I don't need to say it out loud. I don't need to make a huge presentation of it. I don't need to prove I'm spiritual to others. The universe, God, goddess, whatever you want to call your higher force, they can hear it. They hear every thought. It hears every thought. Taking a bath. Now that's for me. A bath to me is a luxury. I add whatever magic to it that I think is appropriate. Herbs and salts and oils can turn it into something to restore or relax or purify or cleanse. It's something that eases my mind, soothes my soul. But whatever that looks like to you, make time to do it. Pencil it in. And I found that if I pencil it in, I treat it just like an appointment. So make an appointment for some loving self-care, whatever that looks like for you, whether it means exercising, getting outside in nature, whether it's a bath or a workout or just being good to yourself. One of the ways that I practice self-care is by getting out in nature. Getting out in nature is so important for your soul. And, autumn's so beautiful. And just because I work so much right now doesn't mean that I can't enjoy some of the autumn beauty. The world is a horrible, ugly place, but the earth never fails to be beautiful. So yeah, get out in nature. Breathe in the fresh air and be mindful of God, the divine presence all around you when you're out in nature. And God, it's so beautiful in the autumn.
Because it's right at the top.
It is. How does it just stay there? I mean, it doesn't go over. Another way I practice self-care is by making time for my friends. These are girlfriends who always have my back, and they've made time for me around my schedule.
How many glasses of wine did I have?
There is nothing better for my soul than to be with the girls I love. They are like medicine for me, and I don't know where I'd be without them, quite frankly. Something about being with your witchy sisters and just enjoying each other's company and letting loose a little bit, letting off some steam. Offer yourself some grace. You're going to have shitty days. You're going to have days when you come home and you don't want to do anything and your house is a mess and all you want to do is go to bed and get some sleep so you can get up and do it all over again. Yeah, be kind to yourself. Talk to yourself like you'd talk to a friend. Treat yourself like you would treat a friend. I hope these little self-care rituals will inspire you. Enjoy what's left of the fall weather and